Lost royal treasures. Where did they go? The golden shadows of history. Throughout history, kingdoms have risen and fallen, leaving behind ruins, faded parchments, and rumors. Among the whispers of the past are tales of treasures so dazzling that their very mention conjures images of golden thrones, jewel-encrusted crowns, and chests overflowing with priceless artifacts. Yet, in many cases, these treasures have simply vanished. No inventory records, no confirmed sightings. Just legends, rumors, and a trail of tantalizing clues that lead nowhere or everywhere. Royal treasures are not just piles of wealth, they're symbols of power, identity, and legacy. Losing them is not simply losing gold, it's losing a piece of a nation's soul. And when they disappear, history itself gains a hole that can never truly be filled. Today, we journey through time, across continents and centuries, to uncover some of the greatest mysteries in royal treasure history. We'll explore what they were, how they were lost, and where they might be hiding, even now. The AmberRoom, the eighth wonder of the world. In the early 18th century, the world had never seen anything quite like the AmberRoom, commissioned in Prussia and gifted to Peter the Great of Russia. This dazzling chamber was constructed from 6 tons of amber panels, gold leaf, and precious stones. It wasn't just a room, it was a masterpiece, an artistic marvel often called the eighth wonder of the world. When Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1941, the AmberRoom was dismantled and shipped to Königsberg, modern-day Kaliningrad, Russia. There, it was installed in a castle museum. But as the tides of war turned, the treasure's fate took a dark turn. In 1944, Allied bombing raids devastated Königsberg. After that, the AmberRoom simply disappeared. Some say it was destroyed in the bombing. Others believe it was secretly moved by the Germans to a mine, a ship, or hidden deep in Eastern Europe. Over the decades, treasure hunters and historians alike have searched in castle ruins, submerged wrecks, and forgotten tunnels, but no confirmed pieces have been found. Except for one small mosaic panel recovered in 1997. Even today, the AmberRoom's fate is one of the most enduring mysteries in treasure history. The Crown Jewels of Ireland, a vanishing act in the heart of Dublin. In 1907, Ireland's pride, the Irish Crown Jewels, vanished from Dublin Castle in what remains one of the boldest unsolved heists in British and Irish history. These were not the same crown jewels used in British coronations, but they were no less valuable. Officially known as the insignia of the Order of St. Patrick, they consisted of gold collars, a star, and a badge encrusted with emeralds, diamonds, and rubies. The jewels were kept in a safe inside the Office of Arms. In July of 1907, mere days before they were to be used in a royal ceremony, the safe was opened, and the jewels were gone. There were no signs of forced entry. Suspicion immediately fell on Sir Arthur Vickers, the officer in charge, but despite investigations, the jewels were never recovered. Theories abound: a politically motivated theft, a high society cover-up, or even an inside job involving figures at the very top of British administration. Today, their value in modern terms would be tens of millions of dollars, but their historical significance is priceless. The Romanov treasures, a dynasty's last secret. When the Russian Revolution erupted in 1917, the mighty Romanov dynasty faced a swift and brutal end. Tsar Nicholas II, his wife Alexandra, and their children were placed under house arrest before being executed in 1918. But what happened to their personal fortune, their jewelry, gold, and royal regalia, is another story. Many items were seized by the Bolsheviks and now reside in Russian state collections. Yet, eyewitness accounts claim that some of the Romanovs sewed jewels into their clothing as a last desperate act of preservation. Others speak of treasure caches hidden in palace walls or buried in the Urals. Over the decades, scattered Romanov jewels have surfaced in auctions and private collections, but the full scope of their wealth remains unaccounted for. Some historians suspect that loyalists smuggled pieces out of Russia, possibly to Europe or America. Others believe the treasures are still hidden within Russia, waiting for a chance discovery. King John's lost crown jewels, swallowed by the sea. Is the year 1216, England's King John, infamous for signing the Magna Carta under pressure, is fleeing enemy forces across the eastern marshes of England. His baggage train carries the crown jewels, gold coins, and ceremonial regalia, the full wealth of a medieval king. During the crossing of the Wash, a tidal estuary, disaster struck. The tide surged unexpectedly, swallowing carts, horses, and treasure alike. The king escaped, but his royal wealth vanished into the mud and salt water. To this day, no definitive trace of King John's lost jewels has been found. Treasure hunters have scoured the wash with metal detectors and ground-penetrating radar, but centuries of shifting sands and tides have hidden any evidence. Somewhere beneath the murky waters may lie the glittering remnants of a medieval kingdom. The French crown jewels, stolen in the night in September 1792, during the French Revolution, the royal treasury at the Garde Meuble in Paris was broken into. Over the course of 5 days, revolutionaries looted the French crown jewels, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, pearls, and the legendary Regent diamond. Some pieces were later recovered, but many vanished forever. The famous blue diamond of the French crown eventually resurfaced, recut, and renamed as the Hope Diamond, now in the Smithsonian Institution. But other priceless artifacts remain unaccounted for. These jewels had witnessed coronations, royal weddings, and diplomatic negotiations. Their disappearance was not just theft, it was a symbolic act of severing the monarchy from its grandeur. Theories, rumors, and the hunter's curse. Why do these treasures vanish so completely? There are several possibilities. War and chaos, looting and destruction in times of conflict often scatter treasures beyond recognition. Natural disasters, shipwrecks, fires, and floods can hide or destroy valuables. Deliberate concealment, loyalists, thieves, or even monarchs themselves may have hidden treasures for safety, never revealing their location. Private collectors, some treasures may survive in secrecy, passed quietly between wealthy owners, far from public eyes. There's also something else, the so-called hunter's curse. Many who have sought these treasures have met mysterious or unfortunate ends. Whether coincidence or superstition, it adds another layer of mystery to the pursuit, the unending quest. Despite centuries passing, humanity's fascination with lost royal treasures never fades. Technology has given modern treasure hunters new tools, sonar mapping, satellite imaging, and archival digitization, yet the lure of discovery still feels ancient and primal. From the muddy flats of England's Wash to the forgotten bunkers of Eastern Europe, the search continues. Perhaps one day, a single glint of gold in the dirt or a chest pulled from the sea will rewrite history books. Until then, these treasures remain both real and mythical, physical objects and timeless legends intertwined. TrueHistory Lost Royal Treasures are not simply about wealth. They are about stories of power, downfall, and the unpredictable turns of history. Each vanished crown or jewel is a silent witness to moments that shaped nations. Somewhere, hidden in the folds of time and earth, they wait. And as long as they do, there will be those who search, chase, and dream.